hopefully everybody had a nice break. For some people, it was extended, which is thrilling to most parents I know that are out there as well, as we scatter from these things. But new year, new you? No.
Nope.
No.
Same you.
Same you. Just, go in a different direction or trying something new or moving forward in a new way. It could be any of those things, but it's still always you. Like I've always looked at those new year, new you. And I've always thought if it was that easy to just be like, this year I'm going to be brand spanking new, zap, and it would happen. But it's just never that easy is the fact of the matter.
This brain thing that we have going on, which is a blessing to humans, but it also is not a blessing because that's how it can't be a different you.
No.
Because you see everything that you have done in your entire life using your own brain and your own memories and your own character, your own skills in life brings you to just, it is you.
Exactly where you are today.
That's exactly right. But then what do we do with that? Because our brains are never going to say, okay, snap. We're going to have something different.
And even, I was talking to somebody about meditation and how much I suck at it. It's being able to actually quiet my brain that way and that kind of thing. And even to become a new you or to change the things that you want to change or improve on, it still takes practice. It's never like it's a new year, so it's going to come easier in 2022. No, you still got to work on whatever it is that you really want. So before we go into the show,
the show,
I guess, yeah.
Is anyone here?
In my defense on that one, I was looking at the word show when I actually couldn't think of any other words. So
the Lucy and Desi show, what would we be? Because Carolyn and Carrie show sounds really boring.
Well, maybe just to us. Maybe other people would find it amusing to have a show about us.
The Squish and...
You don't really have a nickname.
I really don't. She calls me weird stuff.
I call her Carrie Kids sometimes.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
Yeah, so I don't think that. Okay, you guys can come up with
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mike.
Okay.
Hashtag holy jumping tuna fish. If you guys hear something today that blows your mind or you think is a really good idea or a different way to think about things, throw in that hashtag for us because we always like to know what has affected you. And then also share, because why, Carrie? Why do you share? Sharing is caring. It's true. It is caring at the end of the day. So share this out, even if not for something that you gained out of it yourself. Maybe you know somebody else who could take away a little bit something about figuring out how do we have our new year same us and really roll with it too. And then, of course, do not forget the hashtag we are life changers, because every single one of us is a life changer in this world. And all it takes sometimes to change somebody else's life is a kind word or a kind sentiment. Really, it just boils. Kindness is key. Kindness is key, people, just like sharing, which is caring.
Every time we do this, we are life changers because you are, no matter what. And I don't know if all of you or if some of you have ever watched the Christmas movie, What a Wonderful Life. That's my all-time favorite in the whole wide world on this earth, because it always shows and it represents what one human can do in purpose in a lifetime. It might not look great on the outside, but through that kindness and through what a human does, it actually has a ripple effect to all of those humans who then go out and do exactly the same thing. So, when you take it in, the way you act, the way you look at a human, the way you do anything, it really does have a huge ripple effect on someone else's life.
Think about that time, though, that you've had somebody who said something kind to you and it totally changed the outcome of your day. Like the trajectory of your day changes because somebody else showed you some kindness. The same goes when somebody's nasty to you and they don't need to be. It can also affect your day. So if we're going to affect somebody positively, go with kindness. It's a good thing.
Kindness is great.
And if you are catching this on replay, throw in that replay for us into the comments as well, because we always like to come back and say hello. And for those of you that are joining us this morning, I see there's a few of you on. Throw in who you are and where you're from, because we like to say hi to you while you're here.
Exactamundo.
Okay. I think Carrie has a good little story here. Which made me chuckle this morning.
Well, I just thought it's a great way to begin the year because, yes, we are exactly who it is that we are. What you see is seriously what you get. We do not change in any which way. You come and do training with us in person. Oh, we didn't even introduce ourselves.
No. No, I'm Carolyn Charles. I like stuttered. New year, new me. Who am I? No, same me. Carolyn Charles, Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulneck, the founder of the Equine Connection and master instructor, globally helping humans just like you, just like us, to have that purpose in our life. And what is our purpose? It's helping another human. Like, bottom line, that is what is purpose for every single one of us. And we do it in such a beautiful, eloquent, oh my gosh, life-shattering way, bucket feeling, because we work with horses. Every single day we get to smell them, we get to learn from them. And this is literally, with our certification, is where we allow the horse to literally be the teacher. We are not doing controlling with them. We are not doing tricks with them. We are allowing the horse, because they are the most feeling of beings, feeling, because they don't have the same brain that we do, that they feel through everything. Because the number one thing a horse needs to feel is safe. And it's the welfare of the horse that comes first in all of our programs. But when a horse actually tells a human what needs to be changed, that is a holy jump and tuna finish moment every single time it happens. And it's such a privilege. And it's amazing how humbling it is to see that human make a change, because a beautiful living being, a horse, told them something that they already knew the answer to, but the human gets it because the horse did it and said it, not us as humans being the facilitator. So it really is life-changing. It's the greatest career. It's the greatest dream come true a human could ever have, especially if you are that human who loves working with horses.
Absolutely.
So, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say hi to Kelly. Good morning. It's good to see you on. And then Julie, this next story you're going to like, because you're from Australia. And it's
yes,
3
you
a.m.
will,
here.
Julie.
So it's almost like you're in the future.
Well, you can't sleep, Julie. You must just be going to town, getting your business sorted out. I love that. Okay, so any hoodle. My daughter Carson and her husband were traveling on the other side, well, where Julie lives, on the other side of the world. So it was so wonderful. We were so excited because, I don't know, a big hockey game was coming up. Like maybe it was the Stanley Cup, because that would be the big one, right? So I'm talking to Carson and Ben on the phone, and I say to them how we're preparing for the game. We're getting excited, getting all of our treats and drinks and everything put together. I said, hey, but do not tell us who won the game. Do you get that? Here I'm thinking, because they're a day ahead of us. They've already seen the game. No, they haven't. Like, woo! That's right. This is true, authentic, just being who I am and not using those brains properly.
Yeah. No, that one I thought, because if that were the way of things, I'd be like, can you guys just check the lotto numbers? And then you can send them to since you guys live in the future.
Oh, me, oh my, pumpkin pie. I do not understand.
I'm going to say this wrong. We've got Chicky Gusak. I'm definitely going to say it wrong. Chicky is on. VOA, FYI. I'm not 100% sure what VOA is. I'm not going to lie to you. You might have to break it out for me.
Victoria of Australia.
You actually made me pause on that.
Yeah, that was all wrong.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make a joke with that.
Oh, Kelly's on board with it too. She says, I thought it was on a replay. This is live.
Okay,
welcome.
You fit in just very, very well, Kelly. That's right. Welcome to our world. But it is true, the biggest thing that I know our facilitators, or if anyone's done our 2 weeks empowerment training, whatever the case may be, when they actually do get to be with us in the training, they always say, wow, you're exactly the same as you are on TV, because we're the TV stars on this show that we got going.
Very famous. There are 9 people watching right now.
Well, this is very good. Oh my goodness.
So to go into
this
new year thing, resolutions are essentially all they are is goals that we're making for ourselves. But a lot of times we throw in different resolutions like, I want to lose weight this year. I want to be healthy this year, or I want my life to change this year. But just like a goal, if you don't put anything behind that, if you don't put a timeline with it, if you don't put an idea of how you're going to get there, the steps you're going to take, all of those other pieces, it's just kind of throwing something out there to the wind and hoping that it turns out. So when you're making a resolution, it actually has to be a goal, not just a resolution for the year. And I know that I've made many a resolution in my life. I can't think of one I succeeded on necessarily, like not fully anyway, like to pack it through to the end of the year and then make a new resolution or anything. So you have to make sure you don't think of it as just a New Year's resolution. Think of it as a life goal if you're actually wanting to make a change in something, and then figure out what those steps are to actually get to that goal that you want to change to as well.
And here's the secret, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but when you make a goal, the one thing you always have to have is time frames. You can't just say, I want to be a millionaire. Like it just doesn't roll like that. You need a step-by-step plan. So if it's, I don't know, I want to lose 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Then when do you want to lose 20 pounds by? Well, smart would be December 31st, 2022. Slower is
realistic.
Better. That's right. Because you still want to be realistic and still live your life to the fullest. And if that's having a slice of pizza and a beer sometimes, well, that just might be something you need to do, right? So don't take away everything to make the huge altering life change, because that's when those steps get harder and harder to bring in. But break down your big goal. How does it work today? What's the one thing I need to do today to achieve that goal? Well, today I am choosing to only 2 cookies versus 10 cookies. Like, I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to break it down, because if it's one thing you have to do today, that's the one thing that you're capable of doing, versus having a checklist of all the stuff in the resolution that you said you were going to do today. Because it's so much that we just say, oh, screw it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, because it takes too much time and power.
Yeah. And you don't want to be like basically calling bullshit on yourself with it either. It's got to be something that you can achieve with it, and something that you're actually want. Like, how's it going to change your life if you get that? Right? Like, if you think, okay, I guess we're going on the losing weight thing. I guess that's what's happened. But if you're going on that,
seems like a norm.
How does your life change if you lose that weight? What's your reason for doing it? What's the purpose behind it? Because if it's just because you think that's what you should do, well, maybe that's not the right goal for you in the first place, right? Maybe it's something that has a little bit more purpose as to how it's going to make your life better to be that way. Losing weight, of course, if it's going to make you healthier and feel better, perfect. But if it's something you're like, oh, I need to lose 7 pounds to fit into this particular pair of jeans, well, if that's not going to be life-changing for you, maybe that's not the direction that you want to go with it.
So here on to resolutions. Same you. What's your same you dream? Because, this is the key thing in this crazy, beyond crazy world, which we are all a part of. I do have to say, the one thing I always said in the olden days was all humans have exactly the same thing in common, is that we're all given time. We don't know, though, when that time, our last breath, will be. But however, if we're born into this day, we all know, okay, supposedly we have 24 hours to do something in. And I used to love that, because I thought that's the only thing to me that really connects us to having the same thing, no matter where we are in life, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. But now the other commonality is we all live in a crazy world.
Yeah.
And it's very different. And here's the thing, we have no control over these pieces. But in resolution, in our dream, we get the control. And I know it's really hard when we're like, okay, I'll just wait until we see what my state does, or my province does, or my country does before I move forward with the dream. Don't wait, because here's the thing. We've got the same 24 hours. People are always waiting to begin their dream. And beginning their dream means you're actually creating it to become a reality. So it's not just a thought or a feeling anymore. You're literally, in every 24 hours, creating something that's moving you towards your dream, making it a reality, but opening up the journey and the avenue and the road for all those humans that are waiting for you to open up your business to help what? Another human being.
Yeah. And so I'm actually shocked you have not said this phrase yet, because you're going to die.
That is my phrase, but how cool that you said it.
But it's true, right? We keep on thinking that there's going to be a right moment, a right time, or that we'll just wait for this or just wait for that. But the fact of the matter is what this last few years has taught us all is We don't know. We just, we can't, and we can't keep. Well, I've kind of put everything's a risk. Everything seems kind of like there's a fear associated with all of it, but now you're putting your life off. This is 2 years that's gone.
No, wait, Ski, why not you? Don't wait for the world to tell you what needs to happen, what needs to change. Do what you want to do, because we're all going to die from something. Every single human who is born, every single thing that lives on earth is going to die. So these are factual pieces. And again, no saying it to make you all freaked out. It's just a fact that we should know. I always said it my whole life. And even with my kids, every time I traveled, I said I could die. So because I know I can die, let's have an amazing meal tonight and let's watch a great movie together, because I want our last time together to be good. So my kids grew up with that. But the reason why I did it that way is because it helps me to actually live for today, knowing that I can die today.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me feel scared or in fear. It actually helps me to actually live. And I think I put up a post recently, and it's 2 women riding a horse. It's a cartoon little character thing, but is that how you say it? No,
Sure.
I don't know. Anywho, that is the top line. We're all going to die from something. Make sure it's something that includes having some fun and doing what it is that you need to do, right?
I started giggling earlier because when you're talking about that you'd sit down with your kids and let's have the best dinner ever just in case we die. She does this on planes, guys. So we used to go and we'd get on a plane. She'd say, what if the window blew out and we died? In the plane where other people can hear her and she's not quiet. And you can see people around us. Well, me, first of all, I'm like, what is the matter with you? Who says stuff like that on a plane? But Carrie truly believes this. And it is actually, I've come around to her way of thinking that we have to live for today, and because we don't know what tomorrow brings. And that's another lesson that we really should have learned after these last couple of years as well, is you just don't know what's going to be the Mack truck that hits you next.
And, it is super, super tough. And, we're there too. We're human, because here's the thing. We're human. We're going to have that same thought process. I'm not positive every moment I live and breathe. There are times, and we were just talking about this yesterday, in this crazy, chaotic world of people who are fence sitting, which is so sad. But we do the same thing, like not continuously, or obviously we wouldn't be successful, but it's a normal, natural human thing to sit on the fence to say, what way is this world going to go? But oh my gosh, all the magical pieces humans are missing when they just don't do it for themselves. It's not about what the rest of the world is going to do. It's about what you're going to do with this short little itsy bitsy teeny weeny life that we do have. And I do have to tell you, when we went to New Zealand, I'm going to say a little psychic, but I sat on that plane with Charles and I said, what if something was wrong with this plane?
Yeah, she sure did.
That's right. And then
I got mad again,
yeah,
just so you know, because this is not the first time she's done this to me.
Pilot came on and said that there is a problem and we had to deplane. So we're all sitting around waiting for a second plane. We sit back on the second plane. This is ours. Don't think this is a few minutes. This is ours as we're doing this.
Maunganui.
Yeah, Mount Maunganui.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there in the plane. I said, wouldn't it blow your brain if this plane too had a problem?
And now I'm mad. Why do you keep talking? Sure enough, the freaking pilot comes on. Says, we are going to have to get you to deplane this plane as well. It also has an issue. I looked at her like, this is your fault.
That's right. So you see, this is why you've got to live in your moment now. So
side note to that, then we had to take a bus to Auckland.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
No bathroom on the bus.
Here's the big thing too. We do have a new year. And I love that we have a new year because it's just a fresh feeling. Remember, why not you? Don't wait to live in this life. Don't wait to live your dream, because your dream is crucial. You're part of the plan that helps other humans to be able to come to you, to be able to get what it is that they're needing. And if it is with horses, oh my gosh, it will turn your entire world around. Like, people always say, do what If you didn't get paid for it, would you still do it? And 100% hands down, this would be the life, like your last breath on earth would be, wow, I did do something really, really great for another human and purposeful. It wasn't a material thing. It was living beings with living beings. So why not you?
Yeah.
There is no difference between us and you. There's no difference, I've always said, between Oprah and Ellen and Carolyn and Carrie. There's no difference. The only difference that people think there is the people who don't persevere to make their dream happen. Every human's got a dream. That's how we aspire to be more, to be better, to do things that fill our beings, because our beings need to be filled on a regular basis, because if there's not connection, if there's not a piece that makes us feel alive with that, well, then that's kind of like a deadline, or what is that? Flat line. Yeah, not a deadline, flat line.
Because your deadline has come. At that point, you are flatlined. Your deadline has arrived.
So here's when, oh, sorry. Did you have something
first?
I
was just going to say, like, for those of you who are sitting there and you say, I know, but, and you've got the but piece that's coming in. I get this very well. I've been a butt person most of my life. I liked the butt with the ass. There we go.
That's the butt and ass show for donkey.
You know, I bet you we get some website hits.
I think we would. Okay.
Not for the right reasons, unfortunately.
No, that's true. Okay.
But it is like, I get that there's a risk associated with things, and I am the queen of skepticism. If something like, when Carrie was telling me about this, I still had to do some research and figure out if she wasn't nuts when she was telling me about the whole thing in the first place. But don't just sit in the butt.
Even though the butt's for sitting.
Yeah, this is going sideways fast, but this has a point, I promise you. Don't just sit there in that excuse, or in that, even if it's a reason not to move forward. Figure out what it is that's stopping you and how you move forward anyway. So figure out what the risk is, analyze it, check it out, to actually know what that means for yourself. Not all of us, like we were talking about the difference between Carrie and I this morning, and I was like,
with taking risks.
With taking risks. You're like a bull in a china shop, head first, and horns down, you're going. And I'm like, let me sit back, write out the pros and cons list, figure out the SWOT analysis. And I need to know those things ahead of time. But do that. Figure out what the pros and cons are. What happens if it doesn't work in a year like you wanted? Or what happens if it takes 2 years? Or what happens if you don't want to do it anymore? You can look at all of those things, but figure out what is the total outcome that you want and how are you going to get there. And I promise you that somewhere within that, there's going to be the reason to move past the butt and to move forward into the do, right? And the butt is not a good place to stay.
You know, I'm talking on risk too, because we do think differently. That's why it's so nice, because all of you think differently too in what the risk is. Yeah, there is a risk. Anytime you put yourself out on the line,
when you go
that
drive,
is a risk.
There's a risk when you walk across the street.
Yeah,
there's always one.
But if you're going to put yourself out there to live a dream that you've wanted to do, that is a risk. But oh my gosh, it's one of the greatest things that your humanness will feel, to say, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. I'm so scared. I'm so excited. I'm so scared. I'm so excited. This is a lot of money. Oh my gosh. Like, those are really great feelings that should be a part of the journey of achieving your goal. But risk. Now, to me, yeah, money is nothing. Like, for the way that I think. Even when I was at the poorest of the poor, and I had to start a business, direct sales, and it was, I think at that time, it was $2,000 to get into this business. I'm like, I don't have that money. There is no way on earth. I see the potential, because I always have to know that there's a potential in a return on ROI, so return on investment. So I see all that, but I'm like, I don't have the money. I don't just stop. To me, money is the thing that, how bad do you want it? You will be creative like no tomorrow when you know that this is what you have to do. And I did get the money by cracky, and I'm not a borrower, but I did borrow from someone, and I had it paid back to them in 60 days. So you see, my goal, that's why I make it in business. Because if I'm putting myself out there and I'm getting my family and friends to understand what it is that I'm doing, I'm trying to make a successful business. I don't want nobody to say, yeah, I knew it wouldn't work for Carrie. Like, mine is always the challenge to prove everybody wrong. I love the challenge of proving people wrong. And of course, in my little brain, my brain does not say you will not succeed. My brain always says it will, even when it's not looking good. Even when, like with this business, 300,000 in the hole. I didn't think I was going to go 300,000 in the hole. We didn't have that money. I used credit cards and credit lines. I did everything. I got a really great husband. Anywho, it doesn't matter. You would never be in debt that much because I did a lot of frivolous
things we didn't need to do. It wasn't frivolous.
It wasn't frivolous, but
we didn't
spend money too soon. Yeah.
We did it wrong. That's
yeah.
what it really was at the end of the day.
And that's why you learn from us, because we teach you all the stuff to do it the right way.
So you don't waste all that
money. But the risk piece for me is it always has to have an ROI. There must always be a return on investment, because if you can't figure that out starting a business, you're not going to be able to make it, because you need to understand, how does the ROI work? What am I going to be charging? How is it going to look like to pay off these debts? You're already paying money anyways. You pay for horse feed, farrier, vets, hay, maybe you're boarding. You're paying all of that anyhow. The bonus when you own your business, it's still a risk, because you're putting in money to learn how to run a business. You're putting in money to learn how to let the horse be a teacher, how to work all these incredible exercises and programs and instructional materials that come with your course. You're learning all of those things, and the risk is it's more money. However, now you get to utilize all of that and use it as a business write-off. That to me is the cat's meow, because even when you have someone who's in your life, like your partner, who's like, no way, we can't afford to do this. When you can logically sit down and show them the return on investment.
We can't afford not to. Honey.
You can. And plus you can show them that, you see, in 1 year, I'm actually throwing away $6,000, because that's probably what it costs for one horse. Throwing it away, never throwing it away though, because every horse is worth it. But then you see, now when you can bring it into your business, they will see that there is, I get it now. Now you get to take all of that, what was just going bye-bye before, and now incorporate it into a business so that it's not at a loss anymore. It is at a loss, but it's not at a loss. But
it's a beneficial
we can get into that on another day. One other thing to do is use parallels a lot when you're going to take that risk and become your own self-employed business owner. This is why I love being an entrepreneur. I don't have to rely on an organization telling me what to do. I don't have to rely on an organization saying that you can't take this weekend off. I don't have to rely on an organization to tell me these are the rules and guidelines that you must follow in order to stay here. I can say, no. This is me. I get to make my own decisions. Well, that's a good parallel right there too. However, one thing that I do, so for example, is skiing. Any of you who downhill ski, I don't do this either. I actually kind of stayed together.
Kind of like stirring the pot.
That's right. Else. But I remember the first time my stepmom and dad took us to, I think it was Sunshine, or no, it was Lake Louise. Oh my gosh. Finally got to go, I think, to like a blue run. Now I'm at the top of this freaking mountain. I look down. I am panicked to the bloody nine. You see, here's risk. I'm at the top. And now I am panicked in fear and paralyzation. I wanted to get on my bum and just scooch all the way down because I was so scared. My stepmom came up to me. She goes, Carrie, all you got to do is go this way first, go nice and long, and then come all the way back. So do very big, I don't know what you call it, skiing as you're going down the hill. Instead of going boom like this.
Don't go straight down.
No, and I used the snow plow a lot. But, you know, I didn't look, and she said, don't look down. And I didn't. All I did is I looked from side to side. That's all I kept doing, side to side. And then I would stop periodically to just have a peek and say, oh, okay, breathe. I'm getting closer. It's that same idea.
It's true.
It's just, you got to start somewhere. You got to take the risk, and you got to put yourself on the risk. You got to put yourself on the mountain. You have to be able to put yourself there, because you don't succeed in life if you're not in a moment of uncomfort, of that fear piece, And when you got support and help, it helps you to be able to continually keep moving down that ski hill in a snow plowish long manner, but it works because we don't have to rush at anything.
Well, and you don't always have to look at that. It's like saying, I want to lose 50 pounds by next month, or I want to be successful and be making $1 million by next year. Or, you know, like you have to be reasonable with it. And when you take your cuts of the hill, instead of just going barreling straight down, you actually have the opportunity to take the steps it takes to get to the goal in a reasonable time period, rather than just trying to rush through things and possibly in the hospital.
Yeah, no going into the hospital.
No.
Right? I have to go and grab a piece of paper, because on this beautiful piece of paper, we have something very exciting that is coming up for those of you who might be interested.
Should I start to tell them about that, or are you going to get the paper first?
Sure, you can do that while I do that. You see, there's no memory in the brain anymore. So I want all of you to know, if you're wanting to become an entrepreneur yourself, you're wanting to start your own business with horses and working with people, it doesn't require that you have a lot of brain power.
Just a lot of scrap paper.
Just a lot of scrap paper and us helping. Because wowzers, I do feel, no offense, Mike, but there's something with women and their brain in retention. And I don't know, you always use that to all the tabs open thing.
Yeah, like when guys are thinking through things, it's like an internet. Where are you going?
To get the piece of paper, but I have
everywhere. I see. We've got a giant dogs scattered everywhere in here. But with guys, you know, they kind of are on one internet tab, and then they finish that tab, and then they kind of close it. Maybe they have 2 or 3. As women, we tend to have like a gazillion tabs open at all times. And I think as we flick in between, we lose the little information that's supposed to stick with us on all the different tabs. And like we decided this yesterday, and here Carrie and I are both thinking 2 different days. So it'll be interesting to see what the actual date is when she comes back. But what we are announcing to you guys is we're going to have a live Q&A. So for our facilitators who are on here, it might not be the one for you because you've taken the course, but for anybody who's interested, this is going to be an opportunity to kind of sit down, ask all your questions, be able to interact with us a little bit as well, and really understand what it is that you need to know about this course to be able to move forward and feel like you're actually taking some of that risk out of things too.
And you can ask anything. And I'm talking anything, personal, business. Ask, and we get to see your face. This is what I like. Doing these V lives, it's okay. We get the odd person who gives us a message, which I don't understand any of that either.
I don't know that either.
But it's so nice because then we see your face. Then you can hear our sincerity when we answer, or if we're confused, we can say we're confused.
Yep.
Because that's the way it rolls.
Guess to see.
But I love Q&As. And you told them how much?
No, I barely got into it because I was talking about the tabs.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be $5 to join this. Now, why are we charging $5? Because we want you to show up and ask the questions. And we want it to be committed. But what are we doing with the $5? I'm not sure if all of you guys know this, but I run the Spiritual Equine Connection Society, which is the non-profit portion of our business that goes back to kids being able to come and take these programs as well. So all that $5 you're putting in is going to go towards kids being able to come and take the programs and not charging them for it.
That's right. Because the parents, I mean, there's a lot of parents who are obviously very much so struggling because of so many shutdowns in our world that it's just a way of giving back again. So we would love to see you. So it is going to be next Wednesday, January the 12th. And we are going to run this because we're trying to do it so that maybe we could get more people. So 11 a.m. Mountain Time.
Okay.
Because I don't know, maybe for Julie. No, Julie, you don't need to take it. Julie, you're already doing the business.
That's right. And I did say that. Maybe not for our people who are facilitators, but for anybody who's interested in becoming a facilitator, this would be a great one for you guys to attend. If you are interested in joining us, feel free to put it in the comments and we can send you a private message on how to get into that as well. So please do put that in so we can get you rolling with it. And we'd love to see you and meet you in semi-person.
Exact amundos.
Face to face anyway, but
you
not
bet.
Touch to touch.
So it's not funny that I had to run all the way downstairs just to remember one day next week. Yeah.
Don't take much, but you should, like when we say scrap paper, just dole that out for a quick second. Yeah. Those are all the scrap papers. We just keep them around because otherwise the thought comes and then it goes. Or we write it down and then we look at it later and say, What's that
Yeah.
supposed to mean? Exactly.
Well, here's a perfect example. Look at how vulnerable we are showing you that we are.
Yeah.
Because I'm letting you see the part that's not working in the brain. So we make this note because we have a online at your own pace learning, which is super exciting, because if you are that person who wants to take, months to get through it and keep going back and keep learning it and how you become a facilitator and how you work with horses. Plus we have the now no travel training. So for those of you who are making a choice that you will not travel ever again in your life, or for those of you who can't travel because, sometimes being on a farm, you've got a lot of commitments.
Well, even our European people right now,
they can't. Especially in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can't go nowhere.
Prisoner in Canada. So the nice part with that is you can still get trained up with every single incredible bonus that we give to our training. Plus it's always, we're with you throughout it, but it's just not as stressful. I guess, is that what
we'll go into a lot of detail with that in the Q&A as well. So just as to how it's going to roll, but it doesn't put the stress on you to have to figure out, like, when am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to do it? So that one of the risk factors that you may have plotted out when you were going through all this could have been the travel piece. Gone.
Yeah. And we're really excited. The non-travel training really is brilliant. And don't get us wrong, no matter what, in person will always be preferred. You just, because you're in the moment, but we've done it in such a way that you are going to still be in your own moments, but it will be working with your own horses.
Yes.
And giving you all the step-by-step to understand what it is that you'll be looking for with your horses, because it's all about the horse. No matter how you shake it with this certification, it's all about the horse.
Yeah.
There was something profound I was going to, here's the profoundness. So any hoodle, I have in notes, because we took Christmas holidays from December 21st on. So I wrote in notes, because I have an Apple phone, January 1st. Put your online at your own pace up on the website. Now, I read that numerous times.
Did it have all of those words?
Yeah.
It did.
Numerous times that day. And I just kept thinking, what does that mean? And I went to the website and I'm like, I don't get it. Like it says it's there. So what am I thinking? So by the time it came to the evening, I deleted it, because I'm like, I must just be a foolish little note I made. Well, yesterday, so this is 4 days later, I go to click into online at your own pace. There's nothing to register for.
Yeah. So sorry about that, anybody who was looking to register the last couple of days.
That was my note to put up for January to December 2022, the online at your own pace. So anywho,
it's there now, though.
Yeah, that's just showing you what it is that we naturally do.
Yeah, it's true.
Anything else profound before we move away?
I don't know if it's profound, but I think it goes with our different personality styles and the skeptic that lives within me. So when
I like that, I do have to tell you,
it's good.
Her being a skeptic and very cautious, especially with money, she's very good. I love that part of her business, because it helps to make sure that, does this logically make sense? Because there is a lot of people who would be more similar to what Carolyn would be going through. So I like that, because she's got to be proven before she believes it. Totally. I like that.
And that goes with this no travel training as well. So just so you guys know, when we put something out, Carrie comes with this great idea and I say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't, likey changey. If you guys have followed us for a while, you realize that's something I say regularly. I have accepted it into my life. I don't like change. However, I do have to warm up to things and to understand how it'll work and why it'll work and how it's going to affect people and how it's going to affect our business. So do know when we come out with something like this, it's not that we're just like, yeah, this'll work, it'll be fine. We go through all of the steps to make sure that this is going to work and work properly, because that's the integrity of our business. That is our name that's going out there. We don't want any half-assed learning out there, period. So do know that too, is that if your brain goes to that place of like, well, how would that even work? No, we've done the legwork on this, and that we do we know how it's going to work, and we know that it's still going to be huge and profound, and you guys will get amazing pieces out of it. And you can join us down the line too if the world changes up again. But at least this is something where people can move forward and still do it in a phenomenal way, still understanding their horses and reading their horses and being able to move forward their businesses that are so needed in this world right now. Yes, so needed. Oh, and Anne and Kelly and Maya, yes, we will absolutely get you some information. So thank you for commenting in there too. Yeah, so I think that was my profound piece.
No, I think that was super valuable. But remember this, everyone, you are all life changers. Your animals, your people in your life, we are all life changers. And I love that we're a part of a tribe that works together on this connection, because we absolutely are. Don't let anyone ever tell you you are not a part of this contribution on earth, because you are the life changer that someone needs so bad. Because why? You're exactly who it is that you are. You're not changing to be anyone else. And I love that piece. I remember a dream is so beautiful to have. It inspires us, it fills us. But then the reality piece does come in. And that's just being smart, because you have to have the reality piece. Reality will be uncomfortable. Reality puts you on top of the mountain. Reality, there is always a risk that we're taking when we say, hell, why not me?
Yeah. The dream doesn't come without risk.
It doesn't, but I tell you, the reward, the journey, the everything that you learn, that there's not a price you can put on it. I know people are always very, very concerned with money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get that you need money in order to survive. You need a house, and you need food. Food is very important.
Pay for your horses and children.
But you know, when you take that risk, and money is just money, it is very much so a tangible thing. There is always a way to get money, and there is always, no matter what, when it's business smarts, get a return on your investment, which takes that risk further away. It's still a risk, because why? It's you. We all have to put in our own us into our business to prove. Mine is always to prove people, to say it's going to work.
Yeah.
My 94-year-old grandma, I'll always remember this too. This was a few years back. She said, you know, Carrie, the family and I were sitting around having supper, and we are just so shocked that you made this business work. I'm like, well, isn't that nice? For how many years? So I thought people were believing.
Yeah, a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought, that's right. I prove them wrong. And I didn't even know that they were thinking that way about me. You know, there's something that's, is it the word titillating? Is that the word?
I like it.
It is a good word.
Yeah, it's satisfying. Titillating.
It seriously is, when you just go and do and prove. And there are rocky times with it, but it's so exciting to have rocky times in your own way, in your own business, versus doing it for somebody else and working with living beings who always keep us very much so grounded. Yeah. They keep us real. They don't let us live in the future, and they try to bring us back from living in the past. So it really is quite a beautiful gift when you're ready to take the leap from a dream to a reality, because you are the thing that makes it all come together, because you're a life changer.
And you're never alone in it.
Nope.
That's the thing. When you find your tribe, your group, your herd, right? You don't have to be alone in that risk or in the rough times, and there will be rough times, because that's life. You know, right? Like, it sucks sometimes, but that is what it is, and that's how you get to
build character.
You don't get the rainbow without the rain.
Sure, I
those things are so irritating to hear when you're in those places.
Oh, like one drop at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the lemon
jar fills one drop at a time.
Half empty, half full.
But it's all true.
Half empty, half full. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So really, you don't have to be alone in all of those pieces. And I think that's one of the biggest things with our certification too. You're never alone. And whether it's us or all of the other facilitators around the globe, we all work together to create this life-changing piece for everyone around us, including our families, the other facilitators, the people who come through our programs, and for our horses too, because they deserve that as well.
You bet. And even just being on this Facebook group together, I love it.
Yeah.
There's so many people we've gotten to know. They'll never be a certified facilitator. So we're part of with being life changers with you. We love that. We love hearing the stories that you have, or the jokes, or what you've done to help someone else. It doesn't matter. We're together in this tribe, and we are going to love it. Always, always, always.
Yes. So I think that's about it for today.
Yeah.
But stay tuned, because I believe it'll be up on our Facebook page as well for
Yes.
this upcoming Q&A. And for you guys who commented that you would like some information, we are happy to send that off. So we will private message you that as well. But otherwise, happy New Year, everybody.
Remember, same you, same beautiful you. No matter where you are, no matter how you're feeling, you have one life. We have the 24 hours that are the same. The world is crazy. There's nothing we can do about it in controlling that. But what we can do is look inside our own being, same you. You can do anything. You are beautiful. You are gifted, and you are talented. Take that and make any of your resolutions become the reality you're wanting them to be.